Okay, so I'm just gonna start right off with it. Kentucky News, episode 3, and this is I'm gonna start off with something positive. Okay, so Rockcastle County firefighters. This is in Mount Vernon, Kentucky, and Mount Vernon we all know is in Rockcastle County, I think. Actually, I'm on Wikipedia this just to make sure. It says Rockcastle on the top, so you know. Which is Eastern Kentucky, but it says Rock County firefighters rescued dogs that fell down a massive sinkhole. WKYT reports. So that's good news. Dogs fell down a sinkhole. There's sinkholes all over the place. Kentucky is pretty spacious. Over 4 million people here. Lots of hills and mountains. A lot of land. A lot of empty land. You know, if you think about there's homeless cities in Louisville, and you got just, right now I'm staring at 4 or 5 mountaintops, just a bunch of fucking trees. If I was homeless, I'd way rather be sleeping out there than, in a homeless camp in Louisville where, people could just go around beating you up and, spitting on you and stuff. So, and there's also a lot of poor people, a lot of people who rent apartments. We could have a land redistribution. Why wouldn't we have land redistribution? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the court party people, prosecutors, lawyers, judges, the police, in some regards, they rule Kentucky. So, of course, if you're poor, you can't become a lawyer. And if you can't become a lawyer, you can't become a judge. And that really, you can't become Supreme Court justice. And they make $150,000 a year. So once to be a lawyer, you got to spend $200,000, right? So that's a high barrier to entry. It prevents poor people from ever being able to get in. So Rockcastle is an unincorporated community in Trigg County, which is western Kentucky, but Rockcastle is also a county. So I don't know why it didn't pop up. Yeah, Mount Vernon, okay. So, just basically verified what I had assumed anyways. So, Rockcastle County firefighters rescued dogs that fell down a massive sinkhole. They had a busy day Friday. Yesterday, they had to save 2 dogs that fell down a sinkhole just before 2 a.m. Friday. Firefighters from the Broadhead and Mount Vernon fire departments were called into a sinkhole off Sand Springs Road, a short while south of Mount Vernon. Crews told WKYT the dogs fell about 50 foot. Mount Vernon Fire Chief said the sinkhole had been in the area for years. So that was October 2nd, 2015. Fucking fresh. This news is fresh. And I'm giving this, I'm giving the right sources to WKYT, and it's written by the WKYT news staff. So it was only 3 fucking sentences, but one person isn't taking credit. The whole staff is taking credit for all 3 of these sentences. And, so that's the very first thing. When I think about Rockcastle County, being a native Kentuckian, I'm sure everybody in Kentucky, when they think of Rockcastle County, they think of Chief Redbird, right? Chief Redbird. That the Redbird River is in No. Somebody else in the Rockcastle County cave. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm a little rusty. I'm getting better at this. But the Redbird River I'm going to talk about the Native Americans anyways, because it's close. Rockcastle County is close to Leslie County and Clay County, right? Redbird Creek, it rises as Redbird Creek in northeastern Bell County, then becomes the Redbird River at the juncture of the Phillips Fork just south of Queensdale in Clay County. So none of this has anything to do with Rockcastle County, but it does have to do with Eastern Kentucky, and Rockcastle County is just it's just right there. And Rockcastle, well, who is this named after? Alright, so I was going to actually make a list of all 120 counties and just, because I think over 50% of Kentucky counties are named after Native American genociders, like Hardin County. The motherfucker was evil as shit. Owen County. Shit, man. Gallatin County is named after, the Secretary of the Treasury. Fucking smart man. A genius. Smart man. Swiss. He was an immigrant, Swiss immigrant. Served as the Secretary of Treasury under Thomas Jefferson, one of the founding fathers. But Hardin County, Owen County, they're named after fucking Native American genociders, and actually they fucking died. James Meade, they went to attack the Indians in Detroit for some fucking Henry Clay, War of 1812 or some shit, marched all the way to Detroit and got massacred, got fucking wiped out. And we felt so bad about it, we're like, we'll name, one of the counties after one of the captains. Not the stupid little soldiers that were just little peon bitches, right, but the fucking general who got, who basically led all the peons into a massive slaughter. We go ahead and name a county after them. I don't know. I'm living in a fucking county. I don't know if I want to be known as a fucking loser, right? As a fucking genocidal fucking loser. And McLaughlin, talk about, taking down the Jefferson Davis statue. Let's fucking get rid of change the name of McLaughlin County. We don't need McLaughlin. Do you know who he is? Okay. So, yeah, I thought it was a good segue, Chief Redbird in Rockcastle County. But evidently not. I'm going to go on with the news, and I'm going to intersperse it with commentary, okay? So something else that's really good is the Kentucky Natural Lands Trust has purchased nearly 55 acres of land in Bullitt County. That's central western Kentucky, kind of close a little bit west of Louisville, to protect one of the rarest wildflowers on earth, the Kentucky Glade Cress. And the Kentucky Glade Cress is like a pretty little white flower, like it's got a long stem, it's like a pretty little white flower. So the Glade Cress is found nowhere else in the world except for locally around Bullitt County. And so the Kentucky Natural Lands Trust bought 55 acres for $400,000. And so now they're going to protect, these Glade Cresses. So if you didn't know that we have unique plant species here, we do. Probably animals and bugs and lots of trees too. I bet everything, man. Everything. Essentially, heaven is a Kentucky kind of place. The landscape and the mountains and the trees is the political structure. The court fucking party, the court class, the courthouse class. Oh, there it is. I think that's the courthouse clique. Courthouse clique. Fucking, control every county in Kentucky. So that's good, right? Kentucky's doing some smart stuff, protecting our endangered, our unique plants, the Glade Cresses in Bullitt County. So we're saving dogs that fall in sinkholes. We're protecting the plant life. So that's something good, right? The something else that's not good. Rick Pitino is in the news. They might take U of L's NCAA victory away. So you got this UK U of L sort of, people say Rick Pitino's fucking Benedict Arnold. Fucking UK fans, man. I'm a UK fan. Everything Kentucky, okay? So, but the UK fans are just such fucking big ass holes. I'd rather see Western Kentucky beat the shit out of UK. If Western Kentucky, Berea, Murray State, if any of these colleges, won in their respective districts, I'm happy. So UK wins, I'm happy. But Pitino goes to Louisville, all of a sudden he's a fucking turncoat. Well, why? He's still in the same state. He won UK, anyways. He won a victory for Lexington for the UK Wildcats. Now we fucking hate the guy. And then you bring in some other fucking Guinea. You bring in some other fucking Italian, WAP. I don't know. Is Guinea and WAP? Does that apply to the Italians? I gotta get my white racial slurs down better. But the big deal with the U of L right now is like there's this guy, Andre McGee. He played from 2005 to 2009. And there's a book coming out saying that a basketball staffer had paid an escort service to have sex with players and recruits from 2010 to 2014. Therefore, the championship, was it last year or 2 years ago? Might be revoked. I don't know. The staffer, they said they played for the Cardinals before the escort service was being paid, which doesn't make any sense. The dates actually don't line up. Rick Pitino's playing dumb on this. I saw him at a press conference being like, I'm just heartbroken. My heart is broken that some of my staffers would pay, and he kicked off, Shane Buchanan for smoking pot, So what? It pisses me off. I think this is bullshit. The fucking rules of the NCAA is what makes this a fucking issue. The players don't get paid, but they're the ones who do all the work, and they're million-dollar industries. The college basketball is. So, Pitino gets fucking paid, but all the black people that's, underneath him don't get paid. And if this doesn't remind you of Mussolini invading Africa, I don't know what does. This is... Rick Pitino is under fire, but I think it's kind of all bullshit. There's something about, if they're paying for escorts, then they're paying the money, so therefore, I don't know, they might take the title away. I think they'll probably weather the storm and, play dumb. If somebody does, there's supposed to be text messages that are coming out. If somebody does, get pinned on this, one of his underlings will get fired. They'll take the fall, and then he'll be able to keep on going. So that's not exactly a good thing. But some Native American, there's an argument, actually I was having on Facebook about people like, I hate it when I gotta press 1 for English. This is America. You gotta speak American. Well, we're not speaking American, we're speaking English, which is from the honky motherland of, Great Britain, or the United Kingdom, or England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern Ireland and Ireland. Why can't it just be one island? Oh, that's right, because they're fucking imperialist. So, English is one of the most popular languages in the world, not because it's a better language, but because, America spoke English. But we were this close from speaking Spanish. In Kentucky, James Wilkinson wanted to turn Kentucky into a Spanish colony because New Orleans was controlled by the Spanish. So when Kentucky was applying for their statehood, a lot of the trade would go down the Ohio River, down the Mississippi, but we didn't have control of the Mississippi, so therefore we couldn't trade our goods down the river. We'd have to try to trek all of our shit, back over the Appalachian Mountains, which is impossible and ridiculous. So because of the control and access of the Mississippi River, briefly for we had 10 conventions before we became a state, and so on convention, the 3rd and 4th convention, James Wilkinson had considered, selling us down the river to the Spanish. So we'd all been speaking Spanish if that would have actually been a thing. Instead, we remained loyal to the United States, and Virginia let us break off, and we became our own nation. James Wilkinson also owned the land where Frankfort sits today. So James Wilkinson is very central to Kentucky's founding. And, if you're Kentuckian, I'm sure you know all of this. But they're sitting there, they was complaining about, you got to push 1 for English, 2 for Spanish. That just shows how middle-class white people don't have fucking problems. You don't have any fucking problems. You're making up shit, Kentucky, we got real problems here. We got fucking poverty, homeless people. We got number 1 for cancer, number 1 for pollution, number 1 for worse mental health, child abuse, wife abuse, elder abuse. We got, that one guy, the drug war, that guy blew his head off in Bell County. We got fucking serious issues here. So if you're just bitching about, hello, I would like to talk to, press 1 for English. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's, it's, there's an old joke about if, what do you call a person who speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. What do you call someone who speaks 3 or more languages? Multilingual. What do you call someone who speaks 1 language? An American. Learn another fucking language, Americans. Shit. Yeah, we do speak English. That has been, we all speak English. I'm speaking English right now. But on my mother's side, that was German. We were speaking German on that side. And I think it's good to be educated, to know a different language. It's good to, just to know another language. It's actually good for poor people It's a cheap way to sort of gain another skill which will be useful, you know, as a translator, as an ambassador, maybe. But English is one of the most popular languages in the world because of America, right? We're an empire, where that's the language we speak, and because we're, you know, not just an empire, but we come up with all the computers and all the language and stuff, so actually we're like just proliferating our language all over the place, where a lot of countries that English isn't their #1 language, a lot of their official duties are English. So English is very widespread. Perhaps one day English could be the one world language, but I think to be like, God, I'm so pissed! you're racist. That's all that is. Press 2 for Spanish. Oh, Spanish? Like the Mexicans, them damn Mexicans? Right? Well, we almost spoke Spanish. And it's not a bad thing to learn another language. If you want to speak the native language of this land, you should speak Algonquin. Algonquin, which is the language, I think, for the Shawnee and Cherokee. And then Chickasaw spoke Chickasaw, Yuchi spoke Yuchi. So Algonquin is just one language of many of the tribes. You know, there's other languages out there, too. So quit bitching, motherfucking white, you know, middle-class motherfucker. Bitch about the cancer. People are dying of cancer. The drug war is killing people, and there's 1 million poor people. 25% of Kentuckians are poor. Our children, here's something, another that's interesting. In Louisville, I see there's like 10,000 homeless children, but this a new study came out talking about 1 out of 5 kids in Kentucky are obese. So, you know, 1 out of 5 of our kids are fat. Let's stop raising fat kids. Okay, you want to bitch about the, you know, whether or not you call some fucking telemarketer and they said press 1. So what? You press 9 numbers, you press 7 numbers, maybe even fucking 10 numbers, right? 10 numbers. Press 1. Oh my God, I've already pressed 10. I can't press 11. Get the fuck over yourself. It's this, right? 1. And you don't even have to wait for the next, you know, press 2 for. You don't have to wait for it. Once you say press 1 for English, boom, done. You're over. If anything, it'd be more of a bullshit thing. You know, if you were like Spanish and you had to wait for the English part. So, it's not a real fucking problem. Quit bitching. That's so fucking stupid. God, I wish Rockcastle County. I'm gonna talk about Chief Redbird coming up after this announcement. So, you should buy. No, I'm just kidding. There are no advertisements here. I make no money on any of this stuff. And don't believe a fucking word I say. I don't give a shit. Look it up yourself. Assholes. There's this is actually a good thing that you need to know about the license. The Homeland Security, George Bush passed his Homeland Security. We all got to get on the same page, and they got to make the licenses. It's got to be uniform. Our license has to be uniform. So that way when we go to the airport, we can swipe our license and they know we're not a terrorist. Now, that, you know, I don't know, ID laws, it kind of makes me a little scared. They're fucking putting Social Security numbers on us, right? We're just a number to the damn system. But we only have for so long, you know, and if we don't change our driver's license to the Homeland Security standards, and fuck Homeland Security, just because it's George W. But, into the TSA, right? The fucking people that, you know, take naked pictures of your wife and sell it online to everybody and laugh at your dick. You know, when you have to walk through the naked machine at the airport. But if you go to the airport and supposedly the deadline was the October 10th, so that means we got 7 days. 7 days to get our license, driver's license, in sync with the rest of the country. And so for some reason the problem is because driver's license offices are run by the circuit clerks, it's county by county, I don't know. Some bullshit fucking excuse, which, I don't know, I'm glad that actually we're dragging our feet on it because of the privacy concerns. But the idea is, you know, we're all legit, you're not a terrorist, you should be allowed to fly wherever, and if we don't change our driver's license, then we'll have to use some other form of ID so the airport will know that we're legit. So we'll need to all get passports. And a passport, they're easy to get. You're American, you can get a passport pretty easy. Just, you got to pay $150, right? Send a picture, send some other shit, Social Security, whatever, and get a passport. $150. So you have to pay $150 for a passport, and you'll have to carry a passport around with you in addition to your license. So we need to do that soon. We need to do that soon. That's another WKYT story. Okay, so Chief Redbird. So it's not Rockcastle County, Clay County. So if you know who Chief Redbird is, he's the chief of the Cherokee. And in Clay County, Chief Redbird, and his retarded friend, Chief Redbird, when he was old, hung out with his retarded friend, Will Emery. So Will Emery, Chief Redbird, are in a cave in Clay County, just sleeping, chilling out, fishing, you know, just, not gay. It wasn't a gay relation. I'm sure Chief Redbird wasn't doing something with his retarded friend. Daniel Boone would hang out with, you know, just single men, just be him and another man out in the woods. So is that gay? You know, maybe, I don't know. But my point, totally went a whole other direction with that. But Chief Redbird and his buddy Will Emery were sleeping in a cave, and you got John Jack Livingston, and Edward Ned Miller. Old Nettie Miller, and John Livingston came up, found Redbird, found Will Emery, picked up their tomahawk while they were sleeping, and chopped the shit out of them, killed them, and then threw their bodies into the river. Now, I think the river was the Redbird River. I can't be 100% sure on that. They were definitely killed in Clay County. The Redbird Creek is in Clay County. And so, you know, there's a little fucking history. I thought it was Rockcastle County. Yeah! Wake up! I am awake! You wake up! Are you awake? Are you talking to me? Anyways, so the Redbird River and the Redbird Creek is named after Chief Redbird. Also named Aaron Brock, a.k.a. Aaron Brock. Chief Redbird's English name is Aaron Brock. So that's a little fucked up shit, right? Fucking chopping the natives up and then forgetting about their language and then bitching about other immigrants, pretending like we are the products of immigrants. Last news story that we'll talk about. This is Kentucky.com, the Herald Leader, by Bruce Schreiner, updated 18 hours ago, October 2nd, the Associated Press. An Eastern Kentucky judge accused of a long list of belligerent behavior, including making harassing phone calls to Pikeville city officials, has been suspended without pay for half a year. This is actually kind of good. This is, the judge is kind of cleaning house of their own fucking people. He's like, you know, going around threatening people, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to fucking get you, you better watch out to cops and city officials and shit. Pike County Circuit Judge Stephen Combs is the guy who actually got suspended for 6 months for making threats and, you know, calling people stinkers, butt nuggets. He never said butt nugget, but he was like, I don't know, being a dick or something. And so he was suspended for 6 months, Stephen D. Combs, and it was a plea agreement, so there wasn't a trial there. But I don't know. You know, I don't know the actual situation. Pikeville, you know, that's they could be the city officials. Do you know any? I don't know any city officials. They could be dicks. The mayor and the fucking, you know, city police in Pikeville could be dicks. So perhaps they fucking deserved it. He's sitting there talking to cops like they're fucking shit. And this is important to understand the three branches of government. The judicial system is very powerful because they control the day-to-day activities, but they are not in charge. They're not the ones that are in power. Cops actually work for the executive branch, for the governor, for the mayors, for the judge executives. That's who cops work for. But when the judge, once a cop files criminal charges on somebody, then it goes to the judges, and then they determine whether or not, there's guilt or not, or what to do with the case, throw it out, dismiss it, or what have you. So they actually have an enormous amount of power. I would argue probably they might have equal power as the executive branch, even though cops work for the executive. I don't know if they know it, if they're always, if they have to go to court and defend. Usually they don't. In fact, I would rather not sue people. If I want to go after one of my enemies, I'd rather throw criminal charges on them. Get a county judge or Commonwealth's attorney on your side and throw criminal charges on somebody And that's the best way to get, revenge. Once you get criminal charges, you got to go through the whole fucking rigmarole. You got to, show it for court 50 million times. They don't want to do a jury trial. They won't fucking just dismiss it. And even if it's some petty bullshit thing, right? Some trumped up charges, and you have to still do a jury trial, go through the fucking bullshit. It just sucks. So I don't know the specific details, but I like it. I like this. I like that they're holding their own in check. The Judicial Conduct Commission has suspended the Pike Circuit Judge Stephen Combs. So what did they do? In one allegation, Combs was accused of contacting a police captain to demand an investigation of automated calls he received regarding drinking and driving during the holidays. Combs then allegedly said the next officer who pulled him over would get a bullet in the head. According to the commission, Combs did not admit to making those comments as part of the agreement. So he didn't have to admit to any wrongdoing. He admitted to making numerous contentious calls to other city officials at the time, but did not admit to allegations that he insulted certain city officials by calling them names such as cokehead and Dumbo. Hey, listen here, Dumbo. That seems stupid. That seems stupid. This almost might seem like he's the patsy, he's the fall guy. There's 50 fucking judges, probably more. And they're all making $130,000 a year. And so, with them making so much fucking money, Owsley County, the average income for Owsley County is $10,000 a year, and this motherfucker's getting $120,000, $130,000. I like to see some of these public officials eat themselves, and, it's hard to determine who's right and wrong. You really got to, pay attention close. But, hey, Dumbo, you're a real Dumbo. You know that? I think you're allowed to call people up, your city officials and your politicians, and call them Dumbo. Hey, listen, I would laugh, actually. I didn't like how you voted on that one issue, you Dumbo. You mean, like, an idiot? No, Dumbo. And calling him cokehead, he could be pointing out crimes. There could be, fucking cocaine addicts in Pikeville, which, that's Eastern Kentucky. There's so much drugs, actually, here. The big, pill pipeline, marijuana, meth, there's boxings. They get free boxings now. So, right. So that happened, right? One of the judges took a fall for calling people Dumbos. Talking to an officer, talking about him, pulled him over. A police officer pulled a judge over. And you know what? I respect that. If that's what you're saying, I would pull people over for speeding, but then, just don't do it again if you didn't hurt anybody. But he pulled him over, and, which is what they do, right? If you're breaking the law, going over the limit, and he goes across the judge, and he's like, listen, I'm the fucking judge, and you don't talk to me stupid, right? He got to see what the cops actually act like. So actually, I don't know. I wish maybe he should have filed charges. He can issue bench warrants. He should have issued a bench warrant to the officer saying that he was, a lion or something. I don't know, fucking official misconduct or some shit. So, my inclination is to agree with this, to be happy about it. But he could just be one of the judges that didn't get in line with the clique, right? So they're just fucking him over on some dumb little bullshit. So, Combs serves in the 35th Judicial Circuit, which covers Pike County. There are 3 judges. So you got 3 fucking judges, right? In the 35th Circuit, according to the State Administrative Office of the Courts, Combs took his place on the bench in 2003. So he's been making $130,000 for the last 12 years. Most circuit court judges in Kentucky are paid $124,620 annually. Chief regional circuit judges are paid $125,620 a year. So, I'm going to leave it off on some Adam Edelin. Vote for Adam Edelin. He's very good. He's talking about the rape kits. He wants more rape kits to be prepared in, the police stations. He stands up against child abuse. And actually, Adam Edelin, I see his name for the last 4 years. He audits the shit out of everybody. And he's the auditor. He's running for auditor, so that's what you want auditors to do. Make sure people's books and these public officials' books are, doing what they're supposed to be doing. If I was the auditor, I'd probably audit everybody just to audit them, right? Just the Kentucky retirement system, both Drew Curtis and Matt Bevin are saying that they need to be audited. So, vote for Adam Edelin. The other guy, Mike Harmon, he just hates gay people. That's like his thing, I think. I don't know. I think you said something about that. And I guess I'll mention some of this other stuff next time. So